What happened to Kevin Knox? Let's get into this. Kevin Knox was drafted 9th overall in the 2018 NBA draft, where a lot of Knicks fans were disappointed with the selection and many Knicks fans wanted Michael Porter Jr. The reason why the New York Knicks drafted Kevin Knox is because they saw a young guy who had a ton of potential, especially with his jump shot, where Kevin Knox in college had a pretty good mid-range percentage from the field, but he wasn't a great three-point shooter in college, but he had a great form, and the Knicks were confident that eventually he would be able to get his three-point shot a lot better, as well as he was able to get to the basket pretty decently well. So the Knicks saw a small forward that they thought had the complete package of really good shooting and ability to get to the basket, which they really liked and was the reason why they drafted Kevin Knox 9th overall. Early on, it looked like the New York Knicks were right about their decision to pick Kevin Knox. Kevin Knox was looking amazing in Summer League, averaging 21.3 points per game on a pretty efficient shooting as well, and many Knicks fans were starting to change their mind, and people around the league and players around the league were starting to change their mind about Kevin Knox. In Summer League, Kevin Knox was proving the ability to get to the basket pretty efficiently, but the most impressive thing that Kevin Knox showed in Summer League was the fact that he was able to shoot the three-pointer now, and pretty efficiently as well. When the Knicks originally drafted him, as I said in college, Kevin Knox wasn't able to shoot the three that well, but he had a really great form, and the New York Knicks were confident that he would be able to get that three-point percentage up and be a really good three-point shooter going forward. And in Summer League so far, he's definitely proved that he was able to do so. Going into Kevin Knox's rookie season, he actually ended up having a pretty good rookie season, averaging 12.8 points per game on a not so efficient 37% from the field, but he was a rookie and he was showing promise in certain games, even when he put up a 34-point game against the Philadelphia 76ers, which was really impressive for him. Obviously, there were definitely still flaws with Kevin Knox, but for the most part, Kevin Knox had a pretty successful rookie campaign where he showed off his ability to shoot the ball from deep, as well as get to the basket and show off his athleticism. Obviously, there were a few flaws with his game, like his defense, which was really atrocious, honestly, and his finishing ability. He was able to get to the basket, but he didn't have great finishing ability around the basket, which was a little bit of an issue in his rookie campaign. But he was a rookie, and obviously as time goes on, we would expect him to fix those things. But for the most part, he had a pretty good rookie season. Kevin Knox obviously came into the NBA with a pretty good skill set and was a decent young player, but the thing that I think really hurt Kevin Knox is the fact that he never really improved, and we really saw that in his second season. In Kevin Knox's second season, he really saw a pretty big dip of his points go down to 6.4 points per game on a really bad 35% from the field, and his minutes only at 18 minutes per game. He really saw his minutes got cut and his production went down because of that. And in Kevin Knox's second season, I really think was the start of the end for him and for his Knicks career. The reason why Kevin Knox saw such a decrease in minutes from his first season was the fact that Kevin Knox showed no ability to defend at all in the NBA and really kind of regressed even slightly on the defensive end. When Kevin Knox came into the NBA, he was a really bad defender coming in, but when you don't show any improvement on the defensive end in your second season and kind of get worse slightly, that's a really bad red flag, and really I think was the reason why he got so many less minutes in his second season. And when you combine Kevin Knox's inability to play defense along with his inability to finish at the rim, it was starting to become a pretty big problem. When Kevin Knox was drafted, as I said before, the reason why the Knicks picked him was because they thought he could be a really talented scorer in this league and be a really good young player in this league for years to come, especially on the offensive end. The Knicks already knew that Kevin Knox was a pretty bad defender in college, but they thought that he can improve on the defensive end at least slightly, but clearly they were wrong. But on top of that, if he wasn't really good on offense, especially getting to the basket and finishing at the basket and getting easy buckets that way, that would become a pretty big issue for him going forward. The biggest reason why I think Kevin Knox is such a poor defender in the league is not due to his athleticism and length. He has both of those things locked down. He has really good length and he has great athleticism, which would typically mean that that guy has the potential to be a really good defender. But the issue with Kevin Knox is his foot speed is extremely slow and he just can't keep up with guys. A lot of players easily blow by Kevin Knox, which is clearly a big issue when you're playing defense. You may say, why don't you just move move Kevin Knox to the 4 if his foot speed isn't good, because he still is athletic and could still get up there. And the Knicks have tried to put him at the 4, and maybe he's better suited at the 4. But at the 4 position, defensively at least, he's not strong enough to guard guys that can really post him up, and then that's an issue as well. So it's really hard to find out where to really put Kevin Knox on defense. And another issue with Kevin Knox that I touched on before is his inability to finish when he gets to the basket, because he actually has pretty good handling ability for his size and great athleticism to get to the basket, but he doesn't have the balance that you need to finish prolifically at the basket, or even honestly at a decent rate. When you look at a lot of the flaws that Kevin Knox faces, a lot of the times it's due to the fact that he's so lackadaisical on defense, as well as pretty lackadaisical when he drives to the basket. He's not using his strength to get to the basket and finish prolifically. And he's also at the free throw line, even though he's a pretty good shooter, he was struggling from the free throw line as well, and that's also due to him being lackadaisical and not really focusing as much as he should when he gets there. This season though, I will say Kevin Knox has definitely improved his ability to shoot from the 3-point range. He's actually been shooting great this season in the limited minutes that he has been getting. So for that, I will definitely give Kevin Knox some credit. He's definitely shown the ability to improve from 3. And for that reason, I will say I think Kevin Knox will definitely get more opportunities, and he may be able to even thrive with another team, or maybe we'll be the Knicks going forward, who knows. But every team in the NBA always needs 3-point shooting, and when you can provide it to the level that Kevin Knox can, that's very valuable, even though he does have deficiencies at other ends of his game. But overall, obviously Kevin Knox is definitely disappointed ever since getting drafted by the New York Knicks, but I do think that he has some potential going forward to be somewhat of a guy who can be really efficient from 3-point range, and every team, as I said, always needs more 3-point shooting, so he could definitely be a pretty effective player in that sense going forward. And also this season, he has shown a little bit of decent play defensively, especially this season, in spurts though, not consistently. But if you can make that consistent and be a decent defender at the very least consistently, I think that would help his value and get him a lot more playing time for the Knicks, or if he ends up moving on from the Knicks, whatever team he ends up playing for. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you think Kevin Knox could potentially be successful with the Knicks or another team going forward? Or do you think Kevin Knox is a bust and his career is definitely over at this point? But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did enjoy, please leave a like and subscribe. It really helps me out a lot. Until the next time, peace out guys.